Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Fireside Psychic. My name is Paul. This is my dog, Tucker. He might come in frame quite a bit. I'll just move him off to the side here. You go lay down. Go lay down. He's very persistent. Go lay down. Come on. No. Anyway, today's video is going to be about psychic predictions and a special message from my guides, a message of hope for the future. So, pulling on questions that have been asked to me in the last 24 hours, we'll just start at the top. First question is, will Joe Biden seek re-election and then get re-elected? I have to be honest with you. He'd like to, but he's very advanced in age, and I do not want anybody to think that I don't think that older people are capable. But this is what I'm picking up from him, how he feels about it. He just feels he's getting too old. He's tired. He works really tirelessly to keep a lid on the pressure cooker that is the United States right now. And not my words, actually. That's Susan Lynn's description, but I really like it and I think it's really accurate. And he works really hard, much harder than you probably are aware. And, it's very taxing on him. So no, I do not see him running again. I actually, and I've been saying this for several years, see him stepping down late in this particular cycle, which will leave Kamala Harris as president. Which brings up the next question: will Kamala Harris be the next president? Yes, I think she is going to be the next president. I do not think she will be the next elected president. I think the country is going to have very mixed feelings about her presidency. Let's just be really frank. Kamala does not pull punches, and she is an ex-prosecutor, and she really goes at things with a passion and a zeal that is very admirable in a lawyer. However, she might potentially step on some toes, but that's okay because we came up to this cycle with Joe Biden. Joe Biden was perfect for the time. He's exactly what we need. I believe he's divinely inspired. But then, we have to move beyond the first step. We have to move to the second step. And the second step is to break the gridlock and to really push the issues that we need to address as a culture. And Kamala Harris is exactly the person for that. Do I see her running for the next election cycle? I know this sounds weird, because if she were to rise to the presidency because Joe stepped down, you would think she would run, but I think her favorables are going to be pretty low. But do not misunderstand that. She is going to do some pretty amazing things, and I think she's really going to shake up a lot of old power structures. I think, and forgive my French here, she's going to really kick the backside of some intransigent octogenarians who are holding up things. Do not misinterpret that. I am not judging any of these people. Don't jump to conclusions about who I'm talking about. I think I'll stay away from that particular area until the future when it's more appropriate. Next is Donald Trump going to go to jail? No, Donald Trump is not going to go to jail. He is going to get charged, though. And And I've been saying this for several years, though you all don't know this. I see Donald Trump in a hospital setting. It looks pretty posh. Um, I think he appears to be confused. Talks a lot about the past. I think we all know that would be something he would do. Um, Possibly Alzheimer's or dementia or something like that. I really just think that in the end, finding a jury pool that is clean enough to convict him is going to be very difficult. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a prediction about that right now. When and if he does come to trial, they're going to go through two full sets of jury pools. If you don't know anything about that, when people get called up for jury service, they usually call quite a large number of people. It could be 100 people to come and be questioned for that trial. And then, of course, each side gets to ask questions and dismiss or accept that person. But they do call up a large number set. And as I said, I think that they will go through two entire sets. So something around 200 people possibly before they get a jury. And I still don't think it's going to be that clean. Getting people to tell the truth about their attitudes can be very difficult. And how can you cross-examine that? How can you determine if they're telling the truth? Well, you can't really. You have to just go on their word. So no, Donald Trump's not going to go to jail. Yes, he is going to go to trial, but I don't think they're going to convict him. But I do see him in a hospital in the end. Next is somebody asked about Barr. I don't know if you've seen in the news that the appellate court, an organization sued to get this secret memorandum that Barr withheld about the Mueller report and the obstruction of justice charges, where Barr basically squashed the whole thing and covered it up, and then this organization sued to get that report released, and we're now through the second round in the appellate court, and they basically condemned Barr left and right. I do see Barr getting charged with obstruction of justice. I see a guilty plea. Yeah, the guilty plea, definitely. He looks not sad, but really kind of disgusted and angry. We'll see. Barr's a very complex guy, and out of all the people in government, he's been the best at hiding from all the psychics. Very few people have been able to really delve into his psyche. I only just now, in the last few weeks, have been able to get in. I don't know, maybe he's let his guard down. I don't know. I just want to say, as far as psychic predictions go, my guides or whoever runs interference for spirit will not let you go into a person's mind without consent. And maybe if you ask them, oh, can I get in your mind, they would say no, but we're not talking about 3D consent. We're talking about their soul's consent. You remember, we are only a small piece of our energy. There's always a lake to the other side. Most of our energy is resident on the other side, and it has consciousness. I mean, it's a word. It's very hard to explain. Its consciousness is in us, but we are somewhat separated from it. You don't have to be but a lot of people cut off from their higher source or their higher energy. Anyway, I just wanted to cover that really quick. The next person was asked if Lindsey Graham is going to go to jail. They keep saying to me shenanigans, just shenanigans, which means the way I'm interpreting that is that he is going to play games until people are exhausted with him. I just want to say this is for entertainment purposes only. It's just my opinion. I'm a human being and I have one. Okay, so none of this is fact. It's just how I interpret the information or energy that's available. Shenanigans. And then we already know from the media that he's, a game player. But I do see him at least going before the grand jury. There's people who would like to take him down. He's made a few enemies. This wishy-washy thing he does where he always hitches his cart to whoever the most powerful person in the room is, i.e. Donald Trump. I mean, he's gone all in for Donald Trump. Big mistake. I really think his constituents, they're disappointed in him. I think they thought he had more integrity than he does. And the fact that he's trying to escape out of a legal situation, it doesn't bode well for him. However, that doesn't mean his re-election chances right now are 50-50. I neither can say he will or he won't. I mean, sometimes they don't tell us, or I can't discern. The next person somebody asked about was, will Marjorie Taylor Greene win her election? At this point, and mind you, I can only read the energy existing right now, which might sound like a cop-out as a way of, well, if I'm wrong, I can say the energy changed. That's not what's going on at all. What I am saying is at this point, she's more likely to win than not, but the energy is in flux. There's a lot of people who don't like her. She hasn't done anything for her district. There's a lot of people just really annoyed with her. A lot of people just wish she would shut up. On both sides, trust me. It's not just a Democratic thing. There's a lot of Republicans who don't like that. Which brings up another question. This is kind of out of order. But people ask how are Republicans feeling about the current situation with, just everything in general. I would say the vast majority of Republicans are actually pretty decent people. Now, they may not agree with you or me. I don't agree with them philosophically, but that doesn't mean they're bad people. They just have a difference of opinion about how things should be achieved. But a lot of them they're just fed up with the chaos. They want back that quiet government where things just hum along. But, to be honest, we haven't had that for a long time. Back to my list. Let's see, where's Marjorie Taylor Greene? Marjorie Taylor Greene, probably going to win, but I don't know. It's in flux. She could lose. Lauren Boebert was the next question. Is she going to win? I don't see Lauren Boebert winning. And the other thing is I see Lauren Boebert going to jail for some sort of financial impropriety. It's no secret she's being investigated for campaign finance violations. And it would be unusual for a congressperson to go to jail for that. They usually just kind of slap them on the wrist. But that reminds me, things are changing in the judiciary. You know, this whole thing where rich people are allowed to get off, that's starting to become a little bit risky for judges. They know people are watching them now, and they've got to be more judicious is the word. They just said judicious. My guides can be very funny sometimes. More careful about their decisions, and that they need to apply heavier sentences to these wealthier individuals. I think there's a lot of judges that are really worried that pitchforks and torches are going to come out sooner or later if they don't start holding these people accountable. However, our system allows for a lot of chances to make your case. In other words, you can appeal. If you have enough money, you can keep appealing, just like Donald Trump does, and you can file in different jurisdictions and get all these judges confused about whether they should rule or not because somebody else is involved in the case. Yeah, it gets very confusing. It's a lot of trickery, but also I just see it clamping down on that. And it's not so much the law gets changed. I think as the older generation that's in charge now dies off, the newer generation coming up, they are all about fairness and equity in the law. And I think that the lawyers' attitudes are going to start changing. This whole me generation, they are very aged, you know. Now some of them aren't, but the vast majority of them, you know, they're 70 plus years old. I mean, sooner or later, they're bound to go. That's my political predictions. Now on, well, let me just say, this is kind of a general thing. I know a lot of people, and this ties into what my guides want me to say, or they want to say. I know that we're in a lot of turmoil right now. And a year ago, possibly a year and a half ago, I can't remember, my guides and I had a long discussion about what is it going to take to move beyond the situation. And they basically said to me, at the time, it would be 6 years before we get to a really stable, introspective place, a place where fairness is more of the rule of the day. But they did tell me that things would get, at the beginning of 2022, they told me that things would get better day by day. Then they kind of came back and said, but that doesn't mean we aren't going to have problems along the way. We're going to have successes and we're going to have failures. But it's kind of a steady, slow progression. You're really going to see things take off in a more positive light. It may feel a little iffy right now, but it is actually more better than bad. It's just the media makes things look so bad, you know? You just have to tune that stuff out. You know, what we desire is what we get, or what we think about is what we get. If you're all negative and think nothing's going to get better and that the Republicans are going to win, then you're putting that out into the environment. Now, I don't want anybody to feel guilty because you have moments that you feel that way. We all have moments where we're not as positive as others, and that's perfectly fine. The universe is not keeping tally on how you behave. It just isn't. You are here to learn positive and negative things. And they don't really even look at it as positive and negative. It's just low vibration or high vibration. good intention or high intention or low intention. So even if you have days where you're not on top of it and you're not feeling good and you think everything's going to you know where, then that's okay. You gotta let yourself feel what you feel. Don't push yourself to be something you're not. But there's a lot we can do to help ourselves be higher functioning or have a higher intention. We can surround ourselves with people who have high intention. That's the best thing you can do. And I'm not telling you to cut anybody out of your life. That's your decision. But you can avoid negative people as much as you can. Now, we all work in jobs or we have relatives that we must interact with on a daily or maybe less often, but that we have to interact with, who really affect us and bring out our anger and our frustration. And that's perfectly normal to feel that way towards those people. But all I can say is try to minimize your contact with negative aspects. Anyway, back to my guides. They said from the 2024 election is going to be a shocker, and I am excited. I'm really excited. We are going to get a female president, and I think actually a female vice president too. Now, I know a lot of people think Pete Buttigieg is going to be somewhere in there, but it's not time. It's not his time yet. He's really young. He needs to age a bit. And when I say age, I don't mean physically age. I mean he needs to mature a bit. He is super smart. There is no doubt. I really like the guy. But, he really turned a lot of people off in the election when he sort of shifted to a more corporate mentality, and people haven't forgot that. And when you're trying to be the first gay guy who's a president, you have to work twice as hard. It's not fair, not at all. A person's sexuality should have nothing to do with your decision about whether they're capable. I mean, this guy is brilliant, but it's not his time yet. It's coming, though. He could potentially be a president or vice president, but way past like 2028 at least, maybe even another cycle after that. I mean, Americans have shifted their attitudes towards LGBTQ plus people so much. I'm so proud of them. I'm being being gay myself. Sorry, tongue twister there. All those letters, just so much. Being a gay person myself, I mean, from and of such an advanced age, I've seen miraculous things happen. I never thought we would get married, or have the ability to get married. Anyway, so I actually see Stacey Abrams as president. Now, I know that's a long shot. I have no idea how that's going to work out. It's just the way I feel, and I have to trust my instincts on this. I have to trust my psychic intuition. I know this video is getting a little long, so I'll try to wrap up here. I can actually see energy really far out. I can go, I've had visions that go 600 years, 1,000 years. One was even 3,000 years into the future. But you really have to take those with a grain of salt, because people have free will, and we can be on a timeline that seems very clear, and then enough people change their mind or they decide to do something different, and it can totally change where we're going to head in the future. So while I think those things are gonna come true. Like I said, I read the energy that exists right now. Um, is that true psychicness? I don't know. Could be more just as sensitive. I don't know. I don't really. I don't really want to put uh, labels on what I do. I just do what I do, and it seems to come true most of the time. I have missed a few things, but overall, I think I hit the mark pretty good. You guys have to decide whether you enjoy watching me or not. I really appreciate people taking the time to watch my videos. And let me go back to my guides real quick. They want me to tell you that no matter what, the universe loves you, because that's all the universe can do is love. That is what spirit is. It's just love. And again, I don't want to offend anybody's personal belief system about dog again. Sorry. Anybody's personal belief system. You know, there's more than one way to achieve happiness, and that's your goal here on planet Earth. Learn things, be happy while you're doing it as best as you can. Try to have a good time. The universe loves you, and you know, Earth is a really difficult place to live, this 3D Earth, but it's also one of the most beautiful planets. I mean, I'm not just saying that. All planets have their own beauty, but Earth has such abundance of life. There's definitely life in the rest of the universe, but there aren't very many planets where there's this much packed in to such a small place. And you know, it's amazing, the trees and the birds and the wind and the rain. I mean, I'm getting emotional here, sorry. It's all there for you if you take the time to soak it in. Mother Earth, or Gaia, she is your mother. She has everything that was necessary for you to come into existence, physically anyway, and she's offered it up to you at no cost. And we need to take care of her. You know, we need to love, be happy, and take care of Mother. Those are our main purposes here. And I hope that this video finds you well. If you have any comments about anything I said or questions, please put them in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to do them. I'm going to try to do these videos every Saturday. I'm sorry this one is up kind of late, but being a really sensitive person, I was having a lot of turmoil this morning. I just wasn't feeling very positive. And you know, I really want to give you guys the best experience that I can give you. And so I had to wait till I could manage those energies. You know, I have my own issues, just like everybody. Just because I'm psychic doesn't mean I don't experience the same things you all do. I sure do. Anyway, I'm sort of rambling now. I tend to do that. Anyway, you guys have an amazing afternoon and enjoy your week. And I'll try to come back next week and we can talk about other things. Have a great day.